Yo, yo, yo. What up, my peoples? What's going on? Happy Sunday. Hope everybody has had a great weekend so far, man. We got video gaming news for today, March 24th. And then we will be diving into day 3 of Dragon's Dogma 2. It's a weird feeling, man. It's a weird feeling for that game. The content's very good. Content has me jonesing for more. You know, it's one of those games where it's really gotten me content-wise. It sucks that the performance is not where it should be for a game on release, and the dark, ominous cloud of microtransactions being in a game like that where they should not be. There's that just sucks. And so we'll continue to discuss it. We'll continue to talk about it. I'm sure it needs to be discussed. It needs to be addressed. These companies doing this kind of stuff to us as consumers and gaming fans, it's not good. It sets a bad stage for us moving forward for the things that we have, are going to have to deal with moving forward if people accept it and keep buying into it. So it's one of those things that we have to keep addressing and keep complaining about and not buying into, in my opinion. But on that note, we've had 2 days of kind of ranting about Dragon's Dogma 2, and we'll continue to talk about it, but I'll try my best not to get too thick on the rantings this morning. The content is good. We're going to play more. We're going to have fun. It's going to be a great day to end out the weekend for us. Bit of a note. Davey, what's up, my friend? How you doing, buddy? How you feeling, brother? Happy morning, dude. Happy Sunday. Next weekend's a down weekend for me. We got some family stuff going on, and Saturday and Sunday next weekend will be down days. Okay, so we're about a week away from that, but I want to go ahead and start making everybody aware that next weekend will be down days. Unfortunately, I'm really sorry, but it happens from time to time. It's important family stuff, and that's important to me. So just be aware of that. I'll keep making sure everybody is aware through beginning of the streams, ending of the streams, and through Discord and Twitter and stuff. Okay, so let's get into it, man. Let's dive in here and see what we got. Video gaming news, let's go. It goes. It does goes. If it wasn't going, then that wouldn't be good, right? It's good to see you, buddy. Helldivers 2 bans procreation after players fell in major order. Wait, what? Wait, we gotta look and see what that is. Yeah, we talked about the Final Fantasy 14. Wait. No. We didn't talk about the Dawn Trail stuff. Let's pull that up. Yeah, Lightyear Frontier has looked chill the whole time. Yeah. If you don't know what Lightyear Frontier is, it's basically a farming sim where you're using mechs, big mechs, to do a lot of the work and everything. It looks pretty cool. It's on Game Pass. Is it? I think it might have been coming to PS Plus as well. We can pull it up. We'll take a look. This is kind of funny. The title of this article is "I Hate Video Game Achievements." I like achievements. I think they're cool. This is the thing. I think there are certain people that it's a love-hate relationship. Bro, sorry, man. Yo, sorry. God dang, dude. Oh, brother. Yo, have you played more Dragon's Dogma? More DD2, bro? How many hours you got in now? No. No, I wasn't up all night. I did not get sleep because I was playing Dragon's Dogma 2 and then went, you know, and haven't slept at all, and you know, right, Pinky. Oh, you were watching another streamer play DD2? Yeah. What were they thinking about it, Davey? What platform were they playing on? I woke up a few hours ago. Yes, not at 1 a.m. Right on, dude. Right on. Cool. Yeah. Awesome. We'll get in there today and try and take a look and see how things are going. Yeah, I'm excited. I love the content. The content so far feels very good. I'm enjoying it very much. Again, it's just the other things about it that have me a bit tilted, right? The content's good, dude. It's I'll tell you, I mean, it's exactly what I was hoping the game would be content-wise. It still doesn't excuse them for releasing the game, you know, performing poorly. But it's a good game. The whole video game achievements thing is funny. I think there are an amount of people that just get so wrapped up in, like, they'll play a game they like and they start getting achievements and they start feeling obligated to get all of them. It's like, God, I've got to get all these achievements, you know? It's a funny kind of thing. Some people feel that need. It's like they feel like it's a requirement that they need all those achievements. His opinion, DD2 should be game of the year. It's early for that kind of sentiment. It's early for that kind of sentiment. I don't really like hearing people say that this early in the year. Well, I mean, we're only 3 months in. It's 3 days in. The game's been out for you know, like 2 days now. And it's weird for me to have people say that kind of thing. I do feel like it's an early contender. I feel like it's an early contender. And I'm okay with people, you know, expressing those kind of sentiments. And, you know, I mean, you know, I think it's hard, whenever people just automatically, there's going to be a lot of bias around this game too. People have been waiting for this game for a long time, and the content is very good, and I can absolutely see this being a big contender for game of the year at the end of the year. And in some ways that sucks because of what Capcom has done with the microtransactions. I hope they get called out for it. You know, I absolutely see it being nominated. If not winning, depending on how the rest of the year goes, if not winning, it'll be nominated. And I hope they get called out for the microtransactions because it's disgusting. They shouldn't be there. So it's weird for me, like, this early in the year for people to automatically be going, oh, well, this is game of the year. It makes me feel like those people aren't going to be giving other games throughout the year their due diligence in giving them consideration for awards, you know? Does that make sense? Yeah. So, I mean, I've been talking about it too. The content is phenomenal. The content's phenomenal. There's a great attention to detail. It's a ton of fun. The world is great. The way the world is built is really good. And that's what I was telling people before too. Or I was trying to express to people. Dark Arisen's world was great. And with the advancements in technology and game development and stuff, I expected, as long as they kept to the same kind of world building sentiments, you know, and tactics and stuff like that, then this game was always going to be good content for me, right? Furries don't have tails. 0 out of 10 unplayable. No, dude, they're tucked into their trousers. Come on, man. You know. And I would agree with that sentiment, Davey. I mean, so I don't think it's just an FPS issue. It's an optimization issue. You know, I think that people are too quick to give developers an out for releasing a game before they should have. And I do think this game was released before it should have been released. And that's not fair to consumers. It's not fair to us as game players. So to just kind of, you know, I think a lot of people will overlook the fact that that's happened because the content is so good. And I'm still not a fan of that, because that is also something that we've set a really bad precedent in the industry for allowing developers to get away with that kind of thing by going, well, the content was good enough, or, well, they fixed it, it's okay, they came back and fixed it, or whatever, you know. And I'm just not a fan of that. But the content is phenomenal. It is really, really good. The game feels amazing. The quests are they so far, I mean, 2 days in, the quests feel different. They feel fun. It doesn't feel like I'm doing the same thing over and over. The world exploration is great. The world building is great. You know, I've got a lot left to experience. I'm only 2 days in, you know. I've got a lot left to look at, experience. But dude, I've not really had many glitches or anything like that in the game. If anything, it was like I had one of the characters twerking. One of my pawns was twerking on the side of a cliff because he was stuck trying to get up. So he was just kind of like shaking that booty a little bit. But that's just fun. You know, that's just like a fun look. That doesn't really affect gameplay. There's been a little bit of some pathing stuff I've seen with some of the pawns every once in a while, but they get out of it pretty quick, you know? So honestly, the game feels great. It does feel great. Everything with the way the game performs, I think, is really, really good, aside from stuttering and performance drop and stuff, where it's still not really acceptable that it released that way, in my opinion. You know, I think it is a huge contender for Game of the Year. But for people to just go automatically like, this is Game of the Year, and I don't know if that's explicitly what he said, but I've already seen other people saying that. I've already seen articles going, Dragon's Dogma 2 is definitely Game of the Year. And it's like, come on, man. You can't be like that. If you're a true gaming enthusiast, you can't just blindly now go through the other 9 months of the year and not look at, you know, giving any other game its due diligence and giving it a chance to be Game of the Year. Do you know what I'm saying? That's kind of where I get weirded out by people throwing that sentiment out there too early. Feels like they're going to be a bit blinded by this game to an extent. Like I just said, I don't really see. It's early for me too. I mean, you know, it's not like I don't have a you know, an amount of time. I've got 11 hours in the game. 11 hours in the game. And it's going to take me a little bit more time to give you a full breakdown of things that I feel could be pros and cons in this game. But there right now for me, I mean, I can't really pull cons out besides performance issues. You know what I mean? And I do think it's going to be a very, very high contender for Game of the Year right now. I really do. Yep. The achievements thing, good convo there, by the way. Thanks, Davey. I hate video game achievements. I think that's funny. it's a way for people to flex too. This individual is just kind of hating on it a little bit. I'm one of those people. Oh, so then he said in his opinion, no attention to microtransactions and a few optimizations or glitchy type things in the game happen in every game. Yeah. Well, again, I feel like it's easy to say pay no attention to microtransactions, pay no attention to the optimization needs of the game, the performance needs of the game, right? I think the game content-wise is amazing, but you can't just not pay attention to that stuff when a game releases either. I feel like we're too quick to do that. I'm not a fan. That's why, like I was talking about with reviews, like critic reviews, we get critic reviews where they were just not telling people this game had performance issues, right? Absolutely, I agree, Pinky. And I talked about that too. If this game was performance-wise so bad that I was not able to enjoy the content, I wouldn't be playing it. It's still not, I don't think it gives us a reason to just gloss over the fact that, the game does have some performance issues, and it probably needed more bake-in time before it released, in my opinion, to give people a better experience. Because here, the fact of the matter is, the game is not performing to the expectations of people based on what their recommendations for hardware was, right? I mean, that's a fact. So, they failed people a little bit on that side of things, right? For the performance of stuff. But it's not... I am right now trying to stay out of towns. That's my thing. That's the thing that kind of sucks for me. That's the biggest thing for me, I guess, You like that, dude? You like that, Psych? Yeah. I was trying to prompt you to get in here, dude. Yeah, bro. Well, I think I get the gist of it, though, Davey. It's okay. Yeah. And Pinky's absolutely right. And I've talked about that for this game, too. There's a huge difference between, like, I'll give you a prime example of like a game that I think is, and I haven't played it yet, but I think content-wise is going to be phenomenal, especially with its new expansion DLC, which is Cyberpunk. I think the content of that game is going to be amazing. But there's a difference between both of, like, right now the way Dragon's Dogma 2 feels content-wise is on, way up there content-wise. And are there some performance issues? Yeah, but it's playable. You're able to experience most of the content without too many issues drowning out your enjoyment of the content. Whereas most people for Cyberpunk couldn't even experience the content because the performance was so abysmal. It was so terrible. So there is a huge difference. And I've talked about that with this game. I'm not saying that the game was, brutally bad when it released or anything, but it's also, in my opinion, still needed some time. It still needed some love. It's not, without its issues on the performance side of things, obviously, right? and I think that's the biggest thing for me is I don't even like going into the big towns right now. And I'm well above their recommended hardware specs. And I don't even like going into the towns. It gets so stuttery, dude. It gets so chunky. It just gets clunked out, dude. And that's something that sucks. I want to go search out the towns. I want to interact with NPCs and stuff, And to an extent that is affecting my experience of the game. So right now I'm trying to spend as little time as possible in the towns, right? And I'm also not interested in going around and just killing every NPC that doesn't matter. I'm just not interested in doing that. So I'm just trying to grab as many quests as I can as quickly as possible and bouncing back out of the towns. So I think that's probably the biggest issue that I've found so far in regards to the performance issues, is that it is so heavily burdensome in the towns. I don't even want to deal with the towns right now. You know what I mean? So I don't think that Davey, that other content creator or streamer that you're talking about, I don't think they're far off. You know what I mean? I would agree with probably a lot of what they're saying, to be honest with you. I get worried about people automatically this early in the year going, oh, that's definitely game of the year. And I don't know if that's explicitly what they were saying, you know what I mean? But there are worries for me about people doing that early due to how much time's left in the year, how many other games are going to come out that are going to be contenders. Is that going to make them blind to an extent to the, content that we're going to have come out? You know what I'm saying? There's just worries for me about that, and giving other games an equal chance to contend on that front of what game of the year should be, right? Oh, dude, I almost threw up with coffee in my mouth. Oh, my God. What's up, Syke? Yo, are you feeling better today, dude? Davey, I mean, I think he has a lot of great points. I do. And Pinky as well, I think. You know, we're all on the same page here, you know. I think that one of the biggest reasons that I have been kind of advising people to not buy this game right now is because of how grossed out I am by these microtransactions, you know. That's the biggest thing for me. And people go, well, they're optional. They are optional. But this game was also built around mechanics to try and make you feel like, to an extent, you'll need those in some form or fashion. It's a thing for me where this game didn't need that. And it's really gross to see Capcom do that to people, where they were going to be making a ton of money off this game anyways. It hurts to see that happen. So that's the biggest thing for me in trying to tell people, like, wait until you can get this on sale. If they feel like they need to put microtransactions in a game like this, don't be paying AAA, for AAA price tag for a game like this. Properly messed up. It sounded like it, dude. Overdid it Friday night. Had to carry your buddy home. God dang, dude. Yeah. Drank like you were 25. Just getting trashed. Yeah, I mean, if that's what you are feeling the drive to do, then do it. You know what I'm saying? I do think this game is phenomenal content-wise. 11 hours in right now, it is so good content-wise. It's just hard for me to want to promote people supporting it with what they've done with microtransactions in it. And I'm not going to sugarcoat that. Everybody's going to have come to their own opinion of what that means. As personally, as somebody who's a consumer in this industry, for me, it's gross to see that, and that's why it's something that it's very hard for me to. I want people to experience this game, but I also don't want Capcom to feel like this is something they're going to be able to keep getting away with, and that it's okay for them to do this. You know, that's the hard thing for me to I'm struggling with it. It's a struggle for me as far as how I want to promote this game. I think everybody has to just decide on whether you're okay with that or not, whether you want to support that kind of thing. The content's amazing. It's really, really good. Suffering builds character. That's why we should experience it. I don't disagree with that. This is the thing. Hardship, hardship and suffering, I've talked about this before. Hardship and suffering can be different things for different people. There are people that actually grow and become better because of it. And then there are some people that it turns into a husk, if you will. You know? Let's revisit Hogwarts, Scorn, and Elden Ring. I think, I would easily go back and play Elden Ring again. I think it probably plays much better, but I'm not interested in Hogwarts or Scorn. I'll be fair. Yeah. I know you're trolling me out a little bit there, but I would definitely go back and play Elden Ring again, especially with the new DLC. I mean, I'm not looking to do that. I'm just saying that it's not something that I would be against. There's too many new games I want to play. I'm not going to go back and play Elden Ring. I'm not going to go back and stream Elden Ring. There's too much other stuff I want to play. But, oh, there was suffering. Oh, Elden Ring was you know, it was, that game was brutal. I mean, you know, to be fair, there was great content in that game too. I'll be totally honest with you. I think I'm gonna enjoy this game more than I liked Elden Ring. So far, I think I'm having you know, so far I think I'm having a better time content wise with this game than I did with Elden Ring. And Elden Ring was phenomenal content-wise. But there was suffering. There was a lot of suffering. And I do think a lot of the suffering for Elden Ring came down to a lot of performance issues, too. It was kind of brutal to deal with. Let's keep going, man. The game achievement stuff, I think, is funny. There's some people that just... it's funny. Look, they don't add anything to the experience. I don't need to gamify my games. I like getting achievements. You know why I think achievements are cool? I'll show you. What's the last game I finished, dude? Let's just go look at Balatro. You could go look at Balatro, right? Then, you know, I think one of the reasons that I like achievements is because as I play a game, I don't feel the need to get all achievements. I'm not an achievement hunter, but I play my games very methodically. You know, normally if I finish a game, I'll get, you know, if I play a game fully through and you know, I play a game as a completionist style of playthrough almost always, then I'll get roughly, you know, 70-75% of the achievements on average. And it's always fun to me to see the achievements I got, you know, and how many other people got those achievements and stuff. So for me, it's just something like a fun little addition, you know. Yeah, that could be true, Pinky. Yeah, that's a good statement there. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, actually. So I think achievements are fun for me. There are other people that just love being achievement hunters. I mean, why not have achievements? If you don't care, then just don't pay attention to them. Who gives a crap? I think there are some people that get caught up in the notion of when you see achievements being there for a game you play, it's like you can't stop hunting them. And I think to some people it becomes a burden almost. You know, for me, I don't see it like that. It's like, how many did I get? And then I look at them and I'm like, cool, that's awesome. I got like that many of the total or whatever. And I'm like, all right, cool. Seems good, man. Let's go. The first one, capitals on both words. Bro, that's hilarious. Which one is it? Oh, god dang, dude, that's funny. Davey. I mean, if all I did, I'll say this about the whole backlog. We talk about backlog a lot together. If all I did was pay attention to my backlog, dog, I would lose my mind. You know? Which is why we do the schedule every year together at the beginning of every year. We, you know, do a hard look at what games are coming out, what games that maybe we missed over the previous year that we still want to play, what games I do have in my backlog that we're all really interested in seeing here in the community and stuff. And we do our best to put everything in that we can, but there's just not enough time. So I think if something comes out that you're really, really interested in playing and you think that you're really going to enjoy, you just got to go for it, dude. And not worry about that backlog, dog. You know? Yeah, I think that's just the way you got to approach it, personally. Yeah, yeah. I appreciate you bringing the sentiments of the other, you know, player, the other streamer, because I think in large part I agree. In large part I agree. I do. You know, the game's really good. I mean, again, my sample size for the game right now is small, but the world feels huge. It feels very well built. It gives you a reason to search. And here's the thing I've noticed, especially yesterday, even beyond, you know, like fast travel itself. And I've talked about this before, right? People were like, oh, well, I can't believe it doesn't have fast travel. Well, it does, not to the extent of other games. And to some people, that's a turnoff. We knew it was going to be like that before the game even came out. There's even beyond fast travel, there's cart rides in the game and stuff, right? So there's legitimate fast travel, which costs and is limited, let's be honest. And I think that they did do that in many ways to promote microtransactions in the game. But there's also ox cart rides in the game that give you the ability to fast travel between towns and stuff too, which is cool, you know. But the game is so, you know, the world is so well built. There's so many secrets. And I talked about this with Breath of the Wild too, right? I have to pay 100 gold for fast travel. Yeah, I know, dude. Yeah, I didn't know that was going to be in the game, right? And that makes it even more manageable, right? The microtransactions do not affect the game. It depends on how you look at it. The microtransactions are literally like, a lot of it feels like pay to progress faster, if you will. So people can just pay money to progress faster. Almost leaning towards like pay to win in a single player game, which is kind of weird. Depending on what microtransactions you're talking about. That's why it feels so gross. But here's the thing. To say they don't affect the game is a weird thing to say, because the game is definitely built mechanic-wise around prompting people to feel like quality of life-wise you'll be better off buying into microtransactions sometimes, right? Oh, no. No. You can get through the entire playthrough. I'm not going to buy any microtransactions in that game. There's absolutely no flipping way. You will be fine. No. Yeah, so sorry, I took what you said maybe the wrong way. So, no, you don't need any of the microtransactions. No, anything that's a microtransaction is, I'm going to air quote this, optional. It's not the same kind of optional. I've talked about this before. It's not the same kind of optional as other games that have put true optional microtransactions that are like cosmetics or something like that. This game legit built its mechanics around the premise of trying to make people feel like a better quality of life is possible by using real world money to buy microtransactions. But you don't need them. You don't need them. This is what I'll tell you. Your gameplay will probably be a little bit harder and a little bit more constricted and a little bit longer by not using microtransactions, but you don't need them, okay? And in my opinion, everybody needs to experience this game and not use microtransactions. Don't feed this scumminess, dude. But you'll be absolutely fine with not buying microtransactions, buddy. Yeah. So, that's why I looked heavily into it the day that we were going to start playing. Pinky let me know that morning what was going on with microtransactions being a part of it. I started looking into it. And honestly, if the game was set up in a way to make you feel like you needed to buy those microtransactions in some form or fashion, I would have refunded this game right away. I wouldn't have even played it. It wouldn't have mattered. The quality of the content would not have mattered to me. But you can get through this game with no microtransactions. You'll be just fine. May the 4th be with you. Well, right, and that's where okay, so that's where and I agree with that, and I've been telling people that too, and so they are optional. Nobody is going to need those microtransactions to get through the game. But like I just stated, what makes it so gross about these microtransactions is they are not a traditional, truly optional kind of microtransaction that we've seen through other games, right? Like I said, like you play a game like Fortnite. They've got a ton of microtransactions in that game, but it's just all cosmetically or whatever, you know? What they've done is they've taken this game and they've built the mechanics of the game in a way to make you feel more constrained and more kind of walled off from quality of life features in a way that will prompt more people into buying the microtransactions. So they literally developed the game in a way to make people feel like they're going to have a better time if they buy into these microtransactions, which is what makes it really, really gross. So people have to see the difference between that, right? Are they optional? Yes, they are. But the game was built in a fashion to make many people feel like they're going to need them, even though you don't. That's the difference. That's the big difference. That's what makes these microtransactions in Dragon's Dogma 2 so disgusting. Grounded Physical Collector's Edition revealed by Limited Run, dude. Sick. May the 4th will be coming right around the corner. We'll find out exactly. Excuse me. So May the 4th is Star Wars Day, right? May the Force be with you. Get wrecked. When's Sith Day, dude? You know what I mean? Do we have a Sith Day? It should be like May the 6th. May the Sith be part of you or something. You know what I mean? Sounds better than May the 4th. Comes in a full box of spiders. Bro, it should. It should come in a full box of like gummy spiders or something, you know? That'd be hilarious. Yeah, we're going to look at this. Limited Run Games is a cool organization. We've already talked about the Baldur's Gate 3 not getting DLC or sequel or whatever. Davey, if you do end up playing DD2, man, let me know what you think about it. We've talked about this already as well. And the potential April games for PS Plus, we've hit that. Forbidden West PC port pleases fans at launch. Cool. Was I the only person who knew about the Will Smith zombie game? No. Just nobody cares about Will Smith, dude. You keep my zombie game's name out your mouth. Yeah, we know Hasbro has more Dungeons & Dragons games planned. I've talked about that. Don't be careful. Don't get baited by the premise that just because Baldur's Gate is Dungeons & Dragons and it was so good that every other Dungeons & Dragons games coming out is going to be fantastic. That's not going to be the case. You got to be careful. Belatro's so good. It's a really good game, dude. It really is. Toys for Bob and Xbox have signed an agreement for a new game. Interesting. What are you playing this weekend? Same thing everybody else is playing. Dragon's Dogma. Not everybody, but a lot of people. It's weird. Dude, I just can't wrap my head around this like whole Margot Robbie doing a Sims movie thing. It just seems weird. What's going on with X Defiant? Yeah, what is going on with X Defiant? I haven't heard anything about it in a long time. By the way, they still don't have a patch out, do they? They still don't have a patch out for Dragon's Dogma 2 yet. Interesting. That's a big company with a lot of developers. This is day, what we're hitting. This will be day 3 of us playing this, right? And they still don't have a patch out to address these issues. It's interesting. They must be having a hard time figuring this out. I mean, it's not like they didn't know that it was going to have performance issues like this on release. They knew this, dude. They knew this. Why Defiant? Because why not? What's up, Ferret? They had to buy a PC to test it on. Jesus Christ. Oh my God. You guys are going to have to give us about 5 or 6 days. We're still waiting on some of our PC parts to come in. We got to build a PC to test this game on. Jesus Christ. What's up, Troop? What's going on? What's up, everybody? Happy Sunday, man. What's going on, peoples? Talked about that yesterday. Resident Evil 9 could be an open world game. Here's what I'll say. We've already seen what Capcom's done with Dragon's Dogma 2. How gross do you think Resident Evil 9 open world game will be with microtransactions coming next? You know? I'm good, my friend. I'm actually fantastic. You know? I'm hanging out with cool peoples. Talking about video games. The Stars play tonight. We beat the crap out of the Penguins 2 days ago. It was great. Life's good, baby. How are you? Thanks for asking. Yes. Stupid Penguins. Here's what I want. You guys want to know what I want out of the entertainment industry for hockey? Check this out. I've been thinking about this here lately, and just out of my own head, okay? Take a look at this. So if you take Sidney Crosby, right? Is that how you spell his name? Yeah, Sidney Crosby. Let's just get this is what I want out of the. I said, let's just talk. I'm still going to be in the entertainment side of things for a second. Just not, it's going to be a little bit. So take Sidney Crosby, okay? Like, give me. I want to see if you guys can see what I see here, okay? So, an image like this, right? Take an image like this, Sidney Crosby. Now, take a look at, bro. When are we going to get when are we going to get like a slapstick hockey parody movie that just makes fun of basically Sidney Crosby and Andy Samberg plays his character? You know what I mean? This is what we need. Can you guys not see it? I mean, dude, it would be so good. It would be so good. I mean, I've been thinking about this for a while. I mean, get like Andy Samberg and Tina Fey. Jinx, dang it. Get like Andy Samberg, Tina Fey, get some of those like Saturday Night Live people to like write this movie together, you know? And I'm telling you, it would be a banger. It would be a banger, dude. Have like Bill Hader and get like Will Ferrell to show up as his Blades of Glory character for a little bit in it. You know what I mean? Like teach him how to skate or something. Bro, this could be a banging, flipping concept right here. But I'll tell you, Andy Samberg could totally do this. I don't know, man. I don't know. I've been thinking about this for a while. Switch gamers rushed by 90% off bundle. Let's see what that is real quick. I should write it. Nobody'd be able to read it. Everything be written in my accent. It'd be terrible. New Xbox Game Pass horror game confirmed for June 18th. Let's take a look at this. God, old X-Men games were so good. You remember the old X-Men arcade game? Jesus Christ, dude, I loved that game. I remember going to our bowling alley back home, back when I was younger, dude, and I would just play the crap out of some X-Men on arcade. I loved it. What is this? Age of Booty? Well, you just call it Age of Cake, dude. Capcom has confirmed that Age of Booty, its strategy pirate game, is being delisted on from Xbox starting March 28th, just so you guys know. We've got stuff up about the release and how well Horizon Forbidden West is doing right now. We got that up. We'll take a look at that. Have we seen all these Game Pass titles adding in March and April? I don't know. Let's take a look. I think we've seen some of them. Is anybody else just starting to get really weirded out by how many video game adaptations are happening in the movie industry? It's really tripping me out, dude. It feels like they'll take anything now. I mean, absolutely anything. Like The Sims, dude? Don't get me wrong. There are definitely, like, titles that deserve to be adapted. You know what I mean? But god dang, it's starting to feel really weird. We've talked about Farewell North. Yeah, we've talked about Wild Bastards as well. Kind of talked about this too. The Game Developers Conference. We read an article yesterday where a lot of the bigwigs out of the Game Developers Conference were like, yeah, it's kind of weird, you know, there's just nobody's wanting to take chances anymore, and yeah, the industry is just real volatile. And it's like, it's volatile because nobody knows how, you know, none of you big industry companies remember what it means to put a good team together to make a good video game anymore. It's like you just dump 400 million on a makeshift, you know, ragtag team of like pulling people out at all kinds of places and go, yo, make a AAA game. And it doesn't really, you know, usually amount to something fantastic. And that's not all of them, but I mean, you know, a lot of them. Oh, yo, Stardew Valley 1.6 update breaks Steam player records. Nice. Cool. Kind of figured that would be the case. Doing very well. Love to hear it, dude. Concerned Ape, right? Released 1.6 for update for Stardew Valley. That's awesome, dude. A lot of content in there. A lot more than I think a lot of people were originally anticipating, which is awesome. And now Eric Barone / Concerned Ape will be going back and focusing on Haunted Chocolatier again, the next game coming out. Wait, what? Digital Extremes dropped a new Soulframe gameplay trailer at PAX East, guys. What? Let's go. I'm so excited for Soulframe, dude. It looks really good. We got like, what was it? Towards the end of last year, we got like a 20-minute gameplay video. It looked really good. It looked really good. Yeah, true. Tinwin's been playing it. He said it's good. All right, let's stick with this, dude. Let's stick with this. Sundays can be a little bit more bleak, but we got a chunk of content here, so we'll dive in here, man. We'll see what we got, and then we'll go play Dragon's Dogma 2 Day 3, okay? So, switch it up! Nintendo Switch gamers rushed by 90% off bundle, and it's perfect if you love Fallout and John Wick. The 2-strong bundle, originally worth £35, 36 pounds, including adventure shooter titles, The Hong Kong Massacre, and Beautiful Desolation. Peggy 16 games currently more than 90% off on Nintendo's eShop, available on the Switch console and online. It only lasts till April 14th, so you got like 20 days. Only 20 days. If you love Fallout and Die Antwoord is your blood type, Beautiful Desolation is the game for you. Hong Kong Massacre, released in 2019, self-described shooter game inspired by classic action movies. Revenge story in the background and cinematic shootouts in the fore. The title has snagged an approval rating of 71% in review site Metacritic. Released a year later, Beautiful Desolation is a dialed back point-and-click adventure set in post-apocalyptic future. You can take a look at both of those. Look like you can get a decent deal on them right now if you're interested, okay? Wasn't sure what they were talking about there, but might be worth a look for you Switch gamers. New Xbox Game Pass horror game confirmed for June 18th. Day one horror game is confirmed to be joining the Xbox Game Pass lineup come Tuesday, June 18th. So Game Pass subscribers can now mark June 18th on their calendars, as that's the day that day one horror game Still Wakes the Deep is going to join the subscription service. We've seen Still Wakes the Deep. Looks like it could be decent. Yeah. It will be a day one Xbox Game Pass game developed by the Chinese Room, the studio behind Dear Esther, Amnesia, A Machine for Pigs, Everybody's Gone to the Rapture, and Little Orpheus. It's set on an isolated oil rig, has players contending with what appears to be supernatural horrors, as well as some kind of biological threat. Much of Still Wakes the Deep remains a mystery at the time of this writing, so Game Pass subscribers will have to play the game for themselves come June 18th. If you haven't seen it yet, I'll run the trailer real quick. It does look like it could be decent. Looks like this was a new trailer out of the Future Games show.
I still can't believe you went. What are you thinking? Going to that place? Wish you hadn't got yourself into this mess, but you did.
But you did.
You can't run forever.
Can
I know you were just trying to do right
forever
by me, so I need
I
you
love
to
this
do
accent.
what's right by us. Now, please, Cass. I am so tired of fighting. I just want it to be over. I want you home. The girls want you home, but if you don't deal with this, then we are done for good. I love you.
Scorn?
But I won't wait forever.
Sorry. Is this Scorn too? No. There you go. Cool. So June 18th for Still Wakes the Deep on Game Pass. Day one release, all right? Game Pass is a nice segue here. Thrills subscribers as it adds 11 more games in March and April. So obviously Diablo 2 is just now hitting the service, right? Yeah, actually today Diablo 2, excuse me. How dare I? What an amazing game Diablo 2 was. And to compare that to Diablo 4, blah. Diablo 4 is coming to the subscription service today, right? So the other games for March and April, Lightyear Frontier, like we kind of talked about this morning a little bit. This is like a cozy farming game, but it's got a different kind of spin on it where you're having a farm using like mechs and stuff, but it does appear to be a pretty decent game. MLB The Show 24, The Quarry, all of these are out now. Evil West, March 21st, that's out now as well. Terra Invicta, March 26th. Diablo 4, March 28th. No, that's not right. It was supposed to be March 24th. Excuse me. Hot Wheels Unleashed 2, I love that they say Diablo 4, March 24th. And then down here it says Diablo 4, March 28th. How do these articles always screw themselves like this? Nobody proofreads this crap. They have no editors. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's going on? I find errors like this in these articles all the time. It's insane. Hot Wheels Unleashed 2 Turbocharged, March 28th. Open Roads, March 28th. Ark Survival Ascended, April 1st. F1 23, April 2nd. Super Hot Mind Control Delete, April 2nd. Games leaving Game Pass on March 31st. Hot Wheels Unleashed, Infinite Guitars, and MLB The Show 23. Cool. So there you go. That's what you need. If you need the list, I'll link it to you. Oh, baby. Oh, this is one of my most hyped articles of this morning, man. It might be my most. Digital Extremes dropped a new Soulframe gameplay trailer at PAX East 2024. Ooh-wee. PAX East 2024 is now in full swing in Boston. offering up a flood of new video game trailers and teasers, including one for Digital Extremes. If you guys don't know Digital Extremes, this is the developer behind Warframe. And they have been working for a while on a new game called Soulframe. That's what we're going to talk about right here. And Soulframe looks very good. It looks very good, like a kind of a fantasy, sci-fi, more medieval take on something rather than their futuristic sci-fi fantasy stuff they've done with Warframe, right? Compared to the offering up a flood of new video game trailers and teasers, including one for Digital Extremes' in-development fantasy title Soulframe. Compared to the studio's action-packed sci-fi space ninja shooter Warframe, the upcoming game promises to be a full-fledged free-to-play MMO RPG. Warframe is free-to-play too. I have actually used Warframe as an example of one of the better free-to-play examples in the industry over the past decade. With a slower pace and a distinct medieval fantasy setting, which the studio shows off in the shiny new trailer. The trailer offers players a glimpse of the stunning fantasy world that players will get to explore, along with a few snippets of gameplay and a friendly armored bear, which could either be a mount or an NPC. That wasn't clear in the trailer, so you can pick whichever works for you until Digital Extremes clues us in on its actual role in the game. Soulframe is currently slated to launch in late 2024, sometime after the team rolls out the next Warframe expansion. Until then, we can likely expect more trailers every few months or so as development continues on the free-to-play title. The last trailer we saw was like a 20-minute gameplay trailer, and you even had a giant wolf as a mount, which was dope. There was a lot of stuff in the previous one. Let's take a look at this. Bro. Unacceptable! I'm gonna have to have a talk with her, okay? Dude, No trips me out. The entire time I was playing yesterday, No was tripping me out. He runs around looking like Gru, but like Ranger class, and he talks. His voice is so flippin' deep, dog. Every time he talks, I'm like, God dang, dude. It trips me out, bro. It's so funny, dude. He's like really short, and he's got these like toothpick legs, and his torso's massive. He's got this real throaty voice, you know? It's so funny. Those shoulders are carrying. That's right, bro. That's right, dude. It's so funny, dog. Every time he talks, I'm like, God dang. It's like an earthquake, dude. You know, it's really gnarly. Let's take a look at this, man. Oh, what is this, man? Come on, man. Oh, dude.
Where yon the vale did I chance to see you, the little minnow in the clear, a foundling ear of mother's sorrow, conveyed to me
Dang,
by
that's
beaver,
spicy.
by sparrow.
Yo, did you see that beaver?
Blighted, yes, or so they say. More righted, though, in fayish way. So come gather motes of living world. Come gather arms against old and herd. And join our family beyond your blood.
I'm dead, dude.
For blight
My eyes are
is child
so watery,
of
dude.
everyone.
That was just
Even
perfect timing.
bears.
Nice. Cool, man. Yeah, like I said, I'm really excited for this. This is going to be a free-to-play MMO game just like Warframe was. Or is. Excuse me, is. Warframe's still popping, dude. It's been a very good game for a decade now. And Soulframe looks dope. There's like a 20-minute... They've got an entire website out there dedicated to this game. Digital Extremes does. They've got a 20-minute gameplay trailer that came out towards the end of last year, like I was talking about before, and I highly recommend going and checking that out. This game is looking sick. And Digital Extremes knows what they're doing, dude. They really do. So I have a lot of high expectations for this game because I know Digital Extremes knows what they're doing. It's great, dude. I'm really excited for this. Helldivers 2 bans procreation after players fell a major order. In terms, the terms ongoing story and living, breathing world have been fixtures when talking about dynamic video games or more recently live services for years now. But Helldivers 2 is finally a game that seems to actually grasp the concept in full. The GM-run galactic war that players participate in every week, okay, weird. Is extremely unpredictable. No one knows exactly when new major orders will come in, what they will be asking players to do, and what will happen if players succeed or fail with their tasks. Now we have a pretty hilarious development after players failed what seemed like a more or less impossible major order to take 2 specific planets in little under 3 days. As a result of that failure, a new dispatch was issued to players, one that bans sex, or at the very least procreation. What? Yeah, well, here it is. Major order failed. Though many terminids have been mercifully culled, the Helldivers were unable to penetrate as far inside the quarantine zone as ordered. The expansion of our citizens to new planets will be reduced in line with the reduction of expected element 70 to be produced. Further procreation applications will be denied until further notice. Wait, what? No, that's insanely funny, dude. That's awesome. So, the in-universe lore says that you cannot have any more kids because the Helldivers messed up. That is fantastic, dude. What? Not perhaps a full sex ban, but you might want to be careful lest you risk the wrath of the government. Element 710 is a somewhat nebulous concept in the Helldivers 2 universe, but it's the driving force for much of the universal expansion. It has not been lost on players that it is OIL when you turn the numbers upside down. You got paid to Smurf? Oh my god, dude, shut up. Really? What's up, buddy? Helldivers 2 continues to be just consistently an extremely funny game, both in moment-to-moment chaos and gameplay itself, especially goofing around with friends in a game when friendly fire is permittedly turned on, but also in how it's being run with the Starship Troopers like fascism masquerading as patriotism storylines that have players taking sides, mostly the side of democracy, of course. Right. As for this week, players are being tasked with taking and holding 4 different planets in the same 2 regions as last time until the order expires in 3 days. Scientists are processing inert terminids on worlds we have already conquered, and my guess is that perhaps they will not stay so inert for long, just like the flying terminids that are now swarming everywhere coincidentally after we just released a bunch of bug spray in the area. Stay tuned for whatever craziness happens next. That's flippin' hilarious, dude. That is so funny. Things like this, hearing things like this, and just the, what I've heard about the gameplay really makes me want to play this game, dude. It really does. It's pretty funny stuff, man. Yeah. What's up, Soup? What's going on, buddy? Final Fantasy XIV's Dawn Trail gets a release date moved because of Elden Ring. Elden Ring's DLC, I'm sure. Players finally have an answer to when Final Fantasy XIV's new Dawn Trail expansion will be released, announced by Yoshi P. And it's designed to dodge something rather important, releasing around the same time, Elden Ring's Shadow of the Erdtree DLC. Early access for FF14 Dawn Trail will be released Friday, June 28th. Regular release will be on Tuesday, July 2nd. Yoshi P said on stage that they could have released it earlier, but recognized that Elden Ring's Shadow of the Erdtree DLC comes out on June 21st, so they are trying to give it at least a week of distance before early access starts for Dawn Trail. He also says that he himself wants to play Shadow of the Erdtree as well. Right now, generally speaking, games are giving Shadow of the Erdtree a wide berth in June. Destiny 2's The Final Shape expansion will be out on June 4th, well ahead of it, and another game jumped out of the way completely. Shin Megami Tensei 5 Vengeance which was set to launch June 21st as well, but just a few days ago announced that it was going to be out a week earlier on June 14th. Again, you do not want to mess with Elden Ring. That's right. You don't. Given Shadow of the Erdtree's likely size for many players, a single week with the expansion may not be nearly enough, but I don't blame Final Fantasy XIV for not wanting to push back Dawntrail even more than this. A week for early access and almost 2 for real launch should be good enough. After that, at least right now, July is wide open for releases, meaning either game should be able to be enjoyed indefinitely without some other major title coming and stomping on them. At least for now. For now. Doesn't interest you? I respect that, Davey. I respect that. The thing that has me a bit hesitant about buying into it is the from what I understand, there's not as much progression in the game that I like to see in my shooter games, and so at least the depth of progression that I like, and so that's kept me out of it for right now. Plus, I've had a slew of other games that I've been playing on release and stuff, so that's kind of taken me away from diving into Helldivers 2 right now. But I respect that, dude. A lot of people are loving it, that's for sure. Grounded Physical Collector's Edition revealed by Limited Run. Cool, man. Grounded's a fantastic game. I still haven't finished yet, but I need to. Yeah, Grounded is one of the suite of titles made multi-platform following Microsoft's decision to port some of its exclusive games across digital borders, meaning going to competitors' platforms. And once an Xbox and PC exclusive, Grounded will now be released on PlayStation 4 and 5 and Switch on April 16th. Let's get physical. Let's get physical. Physical. Limited Run Games supported or will support the physical release for both Hi-Fi Rush and Pentiment, and now Grounded will join that lineup. On March 25th, gamers the world over can pre-order the Fully Yoked Edition. Nice, dude. I like that. Fully Yoked Edition of Grounded. There's a major drawback, though. It's not expected to ship on some platforms until August of 2024. The Fully Yoked Edition comes in 2 forms, Standard and the Collector's Edition. If you're after something a little more special, you'll want to take advantage of Limited Run's CE, Collector's Edition of Grounded, which comes with a substantial amount of goodies. In the box is a physical copy of the game, a series of art cards with a display frame, a USB cassette tape soundtrack. Shut up, dude. That is sick. A D20 dice set. What? Stickers and art book miniatures, branded sweatbands? No way. And more. As collector's editions go, that's not a bad bundle. It'll be available to pre-order from March 25th. Carries a price tag of $125 US, which is worth it if you're a diehard Grounded fan. If the standard edition is more your speed, you can pre-order that for just $40 US. Let's take a look at this. Where's Limited Run at? Pentiment. Do they have a Grounded? Or is it not? They're not going to show any of it until tomorrow. Ooh. It doesn't look like, oh, they do have it. Yo. Oh, here it is, dude. Check it out. So, PS5, Switch, and Xbox. Let's look at the, we'll just look at this one. Check it out, dude. This is cool. This is cool. Actually, let me go back real quick. This will show you the, that'll be to, their Grounded stuff, right? That'll get you to their Grounded stuff. Now look at this. Look at the cassette tape. Sick, dude. And look at the dice set. That's pretty cool. And the sweatbands. That's awesome, dude. That's pretty neat. That's pretty neat. Yeah, so there's 1 day, 4 hours left until you can actually pre-order this physical edition of Grounded. Whether you just want the base edition for $40 or you actually want to go for the collector's edition, either one. Yep. They about a day and 4 hours. Yeah. Davey says, I used to be the type of gamer that enjoys playing with other people. The one thing that changed my mind was other people. I think you gotta find the right kind of people, though. Because dude, I understand that. I understand that. It's the same thing in life. There's a reason I don't go out and interact with a lot of people anymore. People tend to be very self-centered and egotistical and just, you know, I don't know. There's a lot that goes on with just people out in society that I find to be a turnoff, you know. But there are still good people out there, and sometimes my faith in humanity is restored occasionally, and that's why I talk about there are certain people that I've become very comfortable playing games with too, you know. Like in our community and everything, especially that it's about being a conscientious gamer. And sometimes, you know, there's just a chemistry between people of playing games together too. There's always an amount of playing multiplayer games with randos where sometimes you'll find cool people to play with. A lot of times you'll find just terrible people to play with, you know. But I think that's where, like, having a cool community like this to find people that are good people, that many have a, you know, a good gamer mentality, like many of us do in this community, to play games together, where we share the same kinds of mindsets when we about playing games. It makes it easier for us to play games together because we play games the same way, you know. And so I understand where you're coming from for sure. Yeah, I love multiplayer. I love multiplayer games though. And that's why I love playing games with a lot of the community members too. Especially, you know, there are a lot of people that I've been playing games with in here for a long time now. Pinky, True, Ferret, you know, that are just really, really good, conscientious gamers that it makes things fun, you know. Take Ferret out of that. I retract my statement. Unacceptable! And I've played games with Soup. Soup's cool to play games with, too. You know, a lot of people in the community are. So, I would say for anybody that's interested in doing some multiplayer stuff, yeah, there's always the potential to find people here in the community that I think most people here in the community are going to be pretty cool people to play games with, honestly. Ferret. We'll leave that up too for people. Forbidden West PC port pleases fans at launch. What are you saying, Soup? Oh, Jesus, Soup. The complete edition is now available on PC platforms, having been expertly ported from PlayStation by the likes of Nix's Software, one of the biggest names in the space for that kind of thing. By all accounts, Forbidden West is a wonder on PC, racking up more than 2,200 reviews and garnering a very positive rating on Steam. By numbers, it's the 6th most popular PlayStation Studios launch on PC. It's expected to climb the chart and overtake The Last of Us Part 1, which has a lead over Forbidden West by just 1,000 players. Lauded as one of the most stable, well-delivered ports in the history of PlayStation Studios. In the last few years, we've seen The Last of Us, Spider-Man, God of War, Days Gone, and of course Horizon Zero Dawn all make their way onto PC. God of War was really good, dude. Day one played that, and it felt great. And some of those titles have debuted to a laughable reception. For instance, The Last of Us Part 1, which was dripping with bugs and performance issues at launch. Wasn't that Iron Galaxy that did that? Am I misremembering that? By comparison, it wasn't Nix's. It was somebody else. By comparison, Forbidden West is enjoying a streak of positivity backed up by strong reviews across the board. Racked up a peak concurrent player count of 35,000 users on Steam, only a short distance behind The Last of Us Part 1, which boasts an all-time peak of 36,500. Good. That's good to hear, dude. That's good to hear. I'll tell you one of the biggest reasons this is good to hear, and we'll pull it up on Steam real quick. One of the reasons this is good to hear is because, as we all know, PlayStation is committed to becoming more aggressive with their PC releases for their first-party games, right? And this is going to show that they are finding good companies to port their games over. If their first-party studios aren't doing the porting, they're having good studios involved in doing the porting of their titles over to PC, right? Which is great. So you can see the very positive 93% right now, over 2,300, almost 2,400 reviews right now, and that's great to hear, dude. It's not just great for this game. It's great because it could potentially be showing us a trend of what to expect from these games being ported from PlayStation to PC as we move forward with more of this happening. Ghost of Tsushima's next, right? Ghost of Tsushima's coming in May. It was Iron Galaxy. Thanks, Soup. They did a terrible flipping job. They've been notoriously bad at PC ports, by the way. Nobody should be using Iron Galaxy. Yeah. So, Ghost of Tsushima's coming next to PC. Hopefully it's a good port. We'll be playing it day 1, May 16th. Let's go. Toys for Bob and Xbox have signed an agreement for a new game, reports claim. Now, wasn't Toys for Bob the company that just got out from underneath Xbox? No longer a subsidiary, now their own independent studio again. And but apparently they're signing an agreement with Xbox for a new game. Isn't that if I remember correctly? Toys for Bob and Xbox have reached an agreement that will see the newly independent studio, make its first game for Xbox. According to Windows Central Jez Gordon, Xbox's Matt Booty reportedly told employees that the two companies had reached a deal for the new game. He didn't, however, go into any detail about what the game would be. Recently, Toys for Bob has been responsible for games like Crash Bandicoot 4, Spyro Reignited Trilogy, and even Call of Duty Warzone. Call of Poo Poo, dude. Toys for Bob had been owned by Activision Blizzard. Since 2005. That's what it was. Activision Blizzard, which is now a subsidiary of Microsoft, right? But left after the latter had been purchased by Microsoft. Sources have indicated to Windows Central previously that Toys for Bob culture didn't gel well with Activision's oft-restrictive corporate mandates, and they were excited for the opportunity to spin out as independent in agreement with Microsoft, Gordon says. Insider Gaming has reached out to Toys for Bob and Xbox for comment on the reported agreement. Should a response be received, the story will be updated accordingly. I figured Soup would be chiming in there with my throwing up about Call of Duty, but apparently not. He fell asleep already. Lastly, for the news today, before we dive into more gameplay of Dragon's Dogma 2, the exclusive. What's going on with X Defiant? Nuh-uh. You are. McChicken. In September of last year, Ubi had a free-to-play gem on their hands, X Defiant. The game was good, the community was bustling, transparency from the developers was highly praised, and most of all, the game had a really passionate and dedicated community. 6 months on, and things are somewhat different for X Defiant, with fans increasingly expressing their frustration with the lack of updates. According to Ubisoft's Q3 2024 earnings report, X Defiant is scheduled to be released by the end of Q4 of this year. So, March 31st of this year, right? So, the fiscal year, they are not talking Q4 of the calendar year, they're talking Q4 of the fiscal year. They should have noted that, but that's why they put March 31st of 2024. The end of the 2024 fiscal year is quickly approaching. That is happening in like 7 days, right? And then we'll be starting the beginning of 2025's fiscal year on April 1st, right? But with just 1 week until the date, there's been zero indication of a release. The once loathed transparency is now seemingly dead, and X Defiant hasn't had an update for some time. Speaking with developers at Ubi who wish to remain anonymous because they are not authorized to speak about company plans, it's understood that X Defiant was aiming to release during the last week of February when this internal release date was made public via Ubi's earnings call, a deadline that was obviously missed. Insider Gaming understands that X Defiant has missed dozens of internal targets in the past couple of years, including release dates, putting the game firmly in the realm of other Ubi titles that is constantly in limbo. Developers working on the project are becoming increasingly frustrated with the lack of progress, and in short, the game's shortcomings stem from the executive's pursuit of trying to copy Call of Poo Poo. rather than building their own game. Creatively, it's frustrating for the team, but from a technical perspective, it also presents new challenges and has become the main reason for delays. The never-ending hunt to chase Call of Duty and add pointless stuff always breaks the current build, said one source, which often then requires days of fixing the game. As is generally always the case with games in limbo, the root of the problem comes from the higher-ups, with the developers left with the burden. Higher-ups, which probably have no idea what game development is actually all about, and, put all these requirements on the developers and just go, do it. Just do it. Just do it. In truth, if you're a fan of XDefiant, I would be a little more wary in the future of the whole open transparency thing, as it usually has bigger implications and doesn't reflect what's truly going on. The big question, when will the game release? It's a great question, is likely why Ubi has been silent on the matter for months, because in short, I don't think they even know, which isn't a real surprise for the way things normally go down internally, it seems, for Ubi, right? The good news is that the game isn't in danger of being canceled, and development is still ongoing at a usual rate. In fact, just today, XDefiant had a substantial playtest to test the netcode, online store, social media tabs, etc., and the current plan is to have another large open public test session as soon as possible. So while I don't have any internal release dates right now, and to be honest, it'd be pointless saying so anyways, because of Ubi, we're probably still a good few months from a release as feedback from the next public test session is taken on board. Talk about another one of those big AAA studios that just lost their way in large part, right? Feels bad, man. Watching unboxing. Unboxing of what? Yo, that's the news, my peoples. Happy Sunday. I hope everybody's having a fantastic weekend right now. We're going to move on and play Dragon's Dogma 2 Day 3. All right, so that's what's on board. We're about to head that way right now. But if anybody's been able to hang out this morning, you're not familiar with what we do, or maybe you're watching this as a VOD later on. We start all of our streams off 6 days a week, every day but Wednesday we're live. We begin at 6 a.m. CST CDT, that would be 7 a.m. Eastern, or 4 a.m. Pacific time. We begin with video gaming news, where we always try to stay current on what's going on in the video gaming industry, promote a healthier industry for ourselves as consumers of these products, and just gaming enthusiasts as a whole, before we move on and play games for the rest of the day and just have a good time enjoying gameplay sessions. So, if you can dig that, come check out what we do while we're live. We are always looking for more people to try and flesh out these ideas, have discussions about what's going on in the industry. It's always great to have more perspectives and conversations about some of these things that are happening. So come be a part of it, man. As I said, like we're about to do right now, we always go on and play games after we finish the news segment. We've got an amazing community here of awesome people that are always cultivating a welcoming experience about being inclusive and void of negativity, toxicity. It's all about spreading good vibes and just having an awesome place for people to hang out and enjoy video games and enjoy each other's company, and a safe spot for people to be. So if you can dig that, then come be a part of what we do all the time, man. We've got an awesome spot with amazing people that are always part of what we do, and we're always looking for more people to be a part of it. So if you can dig that, man, come be a part of what we do when we do it. All right. So other than that, stay healthy, stay safe, be kind. I hope everybody's having a killer weekend so far. Happy Sunday. And I'm going to run us an outro real quick. So this will sum up our news segment. I'm not going anywhere. As soon as the outro is over, I'll be right back, and we'll start getting ready for Dragon's Dogma 2. Cool? You guys rock. I'll be right back.